Hi folks! Our diorama actors need a paint job, and so does the gear. So this video will be all about painting figures and gear with acrylics. Please don't take it as a tutorial, because I just wanted to show you how I do things. Let's grab some paints and let's go to work. Okay, let me briefly take you through my mounting system. Choose 2 points on a part of the figure that will be touching the ground. Mark the spots with the hobby knife. Then drill 2 holes the size of the metal wire you are using. In this case it was 0.8 mm. Dip the wire into CA glue and insert it in the holes. Cut the excess away, then dip the wires in CA and insert them into the cork. You can ensure the bond with some more CA. You should use 2 wires because the figure can spin around with just one. And now, my fancy DIY painting mount system. My piece of cork have a wood nut inside. I think it is an M5. And this is a cardboard tube with an M5 screw and a piece of metal tube at the bottom for weight. I also constructed a floor for a plastic box with magnets, so you can put the figure inside away from the dust. If you are interested, let me know and I will do a DIY video about it. The other gear was mounted on toothpicks. You should check out the Kübelwagen painting episode to see how to do this. I didn't film the priming step because you can see it in my previous videos. A dark primer was applied. This time we will focus on pre-lightning. This is an easy, simple step that makes painting a lot easier, because it does a kind of map for lights and shadows. I used Tamiya XF2 white paint and Mr. Leveling thinner. You should always do a test of the paint. The ratio was 1 part paint and 2 parts thinner. The pressure 1 bar. Try to obtain a very light mist of color. So, the whole point of this step is to spray the color from the direction where the light is coming. Take it easy and always check the results. If the figure looks good to you, you are probably on the right path. For the gear, we will concentrate on Gruber's rucksack. A DIY wet palette was installed and I started putting on base colors for all the things. I will not be talking about colors because callouts will appear with the specifications. Also, please don't take those colors for right choices because I'm a lazy ass and I'm a bad reference researcher. If some pieces are not covered with video, I will show you a complete list of colors used at the end. Now, some tips from me. First tip: you should use the biggest brush as you can. Brush strokes will not be visible that way, and the brush will hold a larger amount of paint. Second tip: the colors should be highly tinned with tap water. The point here is that white and black spots still show through somehow when the base coat is done. Third tip: try to paint smaller things first. As you see, I did almost all the smaller gear and leave the back for the end. And don't ask me why I didn't follow the third rule with the belts. As you can see, now is much harder to paint them. I guess that we have an example here. Now it was time for the shadows. I didn't complicate things and I just applied the black wash around all the details. I think it is a kind of outlining and I definitely need to learn how to do it better. If you exaggerate in some places, you can always correct the effect with the base color. Here you can see the results of the shadow / black wash / outlining step. And finally, highlights time. I added Vallejo Sunny Skin Tone to the palette because this color is perfect for make almost every color brighter. Seriously, if you don't know what color to use, try this and it works almost with everything. Pick up some paint, unload the brush on the paper towel and start applying it on the most exposed areas. The highlight color should be even thinner than the base and the wash. Do multiple passes. If you think that you are not doing anything, you are probably doing it right. Just repeat the process a few times. And try to do the highlights for every color on the piece. You will be rewarded in the end. The base color was applied in 2 coats. The procedure was the same as before. Here you can see the results of the base coat. For the shadows, the right color would be cavalry brown, but I didn't have it, so I mixed a red-brown mix from flat red and mahogany brown. First, I tried to apply it all over the face, but the result was too heavy. So, on the other face, I concentrated mostly on the crevices, and this is the way to go. Then, I corrected the shadow step with some base color. The goal here is to leave the shadow color only in the deepest crevices. As you can see, this went much better on the face with lighter shadows. Here you can see how I mix colors. The first highlight was made from the base color and some flat flesh. First highlight. And here is another tip from me. After applying a small amount of color, you can try to smooth it out with a silicone sculpting brush. A dear friend Christian told me this and it works great. But you must be quick. I usually use this with all the highlight colors. Second highlight. The area of painting is getting smaller. Third highlight, pass. Now that I'm mounting the video and watching the footage, I can say that I could simply stop at this step. But it is what it is. I will be more careful next time. This final highlight is pointed to only the most exposed areas of the face. And I think that it was a step too much. Let me know what you think. And our skin tones are done. With the clothes is the same story. Here I tried to apply the base color even thinner. And you can see that highlights and shadows appear almost by themselves, because of the pre-lightning step. The color of choice for darkening basic colors is, you guessed it, black. The painting gurus will tell you that you should not put dark colors in the crevices and bright colors on the exposed parts, because this is not the right way. Well, they are right, but for the start you should do exactly this. It is much more easy, and after a few figures you will start to do things more in a proper way. But we must start somewhere, right? Okay, our clothes need some highlights. Again, try to hit the most exposed parts. Apply the paint and smooth it out with the silicone brush. I will stop filming here because this video could go on for hours with always the same stuff in it. Here you can see the wet palettes after 3 days. All the colors are still perfectly usable. And here is the list of the colors that I used, and they are not covered in video. As I said in the beginning, this is not a step-by-step tutorial. I just wanted to show you an overall approach to painting figures. If you want, let me know and I will do a real SBS video. For now, these are the results. I didn't paint a figure in a year and a half, and those two turned out quite well. Let me know in the comments if you find my painting tips somehow useful. And please, subscribe and help me grow this channel. In the next episode, hopefully the last for this diorama, we'll be assembling the whole scene and we will do a final reveal. Can't wait that moment. In the meantime, stay tuned.